Welcome to the Occult Rejects. This episode, we got Julia back with us. Second time back since her hiatus, and she's already coming in with the heat, bringing us a topic already. So, I mean, that's pretty fucking damn impressive. Thank you. I appreciate that, Julia. But before we get to Julia, we will introduce the other rejects on the show today. And we got my man, Headless Giant. What is going on, sir? How the hell are you?
I'm doing great. You can check me out on YouTube and X and on Instagram as well at the Headless Giant Podcast. If you have any sort of stories, you can send them to headlessgiantpodcast@gmail.com. And if you include your address, Nick will send you some stickers. So headlessgiantpodcast@gmail.com, and we will get those right out to you. Also, on Monday, I've got the... Actually, Friday, we've got another episode in the series of Rust of Gods, which is going to be Chiron. So check that out. It's going to be good. Also, Saturday, book club with Jules. And Sunday, I've got the trilogues with Ethan Indigo and Ricardo Calvadio. And Monday is my alchemy show. So it's going to be a full weekend.
Definitely check out that alchemy show. This guy's buying equipment and everything. I'm actually looking forward to see what he does. So, yeah, thank you, Headless. I really appreciate it. And definitely go check out those shows, too, especially the Trialogue. Really good stuff, too. I enjoyed that one. I check it out. Thank you, Headless. I appreciate you jumping on tonight. And we got Bennett, my man Bennett from Broadcasting Seeds. What is going on, sir?
Hey, everybody. Thanks for having me on, Nick. My name's Bennett. I'm the host of the podcast Broadcasting Seeds. We like to dig into the supernatural, the conspiratorial, and then the spiritual warfare behind everything happening behind the scenes of everyday life. I'm a veteran, a researcher, a storyteller, and you can find me at broadcastingseeds.com.
Thank you very much for jumping on with us, man. I really appreciate it. And Julia, Cosmic Peach yourself. What is going on? Please let everybody know what's going on with you and where they can find all your amazing work if they don't already know who you are.
Yeah, thanks, Nick, for having me. I always love working with ASMR Bennett and Headless, of course. It's going to be a great time tonight. Cosmic Peach Podcast, wherever you listen to podcasts. I'm kind of like Bennett. I talk about spiritual warfare. I talk about, paranormal conspiracies and serial killers and all that stuff. So I like to say, it's a conspiracy buffet, if you will. I got a little bit of everything, sweet and sour chicken for you, a little bit of a General Tso for you. I got it all. Conspiracy Chinese buffet over on Cosmic Peach Podcast.
I love it.
So tonight we were supposed to have a guest on Animal Expeditions, and he canceled, and Julie was like, yo, I got a topic I can cover. And I was like, what? It was a serial killer, killer vampires.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm thinking like Van Helsing type shit. Well, Headless had asked me that, and when she said no, these are serial killers that thought they were vampires. And I was like, oh, hell yeah, we gotta.
Yeah. I mean, you know how I love my serial killers and the stories behind them. And, we talked about government cheese, ripping and running through the beeholes. We've talked about all kinds of stuff. So, tonight's not going to be too far off from that. I'm bringing you a guy from Program to Kill. I of course love that book, and Bennett, I'm sure Headless,
Absolutely.
You're familiar. A Randy Kraft government cheese beehole killer was not in Program to Kill. I found that guy on my own. That was some shit I found completely independent. Yeah, that guy was not in the book. This guy, his name is Richard Chase, and he was in Program to Kill. But I did a lot of research on my own. He was mentioned very briefly in the book, and then I picked up a lot of information just from watching some documentaries and Googling some stuff on this guy, and he's a psycho. But he was known as the Vampire of Sacramento. So have you guys ever heard of him, Richard Chase?
I have.
Ever heard of this asshole?
I haven't.
Yep.
No.
Richard Trenton Chase. He's an asshole.
What do you know? What do you know of him?
I mean,
What do you
other
know
than
of him?
it was just that it was in the 70s, like every other damn serial killer, right?
Yeah,
Which we had
yeah.
talked about before.
Mhm.
Probably untreated mental illness of some sort. Probably
Mhm.
schizophrenia. Just saying.
As they all have.
Because they're all either demons or vampires for the most part.
Yeah,
So
right. Headless, you ever heard of this asshole?
I haven't, but I'm putting together in my mind a relationship between free love and serial killers. Like maybe,
Right. Yeah.
right.
maybe
Yeah,
they're right
yeah.
in those, serial killer movies where they're talking about the rules of serial killers and, free love 70s. What do we got? A bunch of serial killers running around.
No shit. It's a program for real. It's a program.
Is this the other guy? Is this the guy too that did weird stuff to animals?
Yes. Oh my God. Wait till I fucking get into that shit.
Yeah, I
You're
can't
not
remember
even gonna
I
believe
can't
it.
remember the specifics other than that he did weird
Bennett.
with
Oh
animals.
God. Once I tell you, it's gonna turn your beehole inside out. It's literally, it's the most wild
sock
shit you
needed.
ever heard. I can't even begin to describe. When I found this guy, I was like, this tops a lot of the shit I had heard of before. I'm talking, I looked up this other guy. He was called the Dating Game Killer. And he went on a game show and did all this stuff. And he did some depraved fucking shit. Government Cheese Killer did some depraved fucking shit. This guy is like worse than all of them. So he started ripping and running around the mid 70s. He said he was receiving telepathic messages. Go figure. They all fucking do, right? They all say that they're hearing voices and and it does make you wonder though if they really are or not, because like even with what's that guy, Isaac Cappy, you remember when he was like, oh, I hear Phil Collins and all that shit, like voice to skull and all. So I mean, I do think that there could be an element to that that's real, like some kind of funky ass fucking receiving messages type of shit. But I think that it comes from like this guy and a lot of serial killers. They were in and out of mental institutions for most of their lives. And I do think that they being like CIA, whoever, have used mental patients as like some kind of guinea pigs for all types of different programs, MK or whatever. There was a Dr. Cameron Ewan, I believe was his name. Ewan Cameron. Okay, you guys have heard of this asshole, right? So he was like a Nazi doctor that was posted up in a mental institution in Canada, and he was doing all types of programs on people, innocent people who weren't actually mentally insane at all. They were just like normal people that got hijacked into the system. And he would like play like messages like you killed your mother, you killed your mother, you killed your mother, and like weird stuff like that. It was really fucking people up. I saw this one lady, she went in for like postpartum depression because she just had a baby, and he kept her in a coma for like 96 days or something like that, and just would like play stuff in her ear off of some cassette tape. I mean, he was on some fucked up shit, but they're allowed to do this at mental institutions because it's like therapy, right? You can disguise a lot of shit under the guise of being therapeutic.
Julia, what about Jose Delgado? The guy with the brain chips.
Tell me about that. Tell me about that.
So this guy in Spain, he had these brain chips that he would put into bulls, and he wanted to demonstrate that he could stop the bull mid-run by hitting a button on his little remote control. And then, he would, and then the bull would freeze. Well, they started doing this to mental patients in the United States using these brain chips. And that's where we get the concept of the tinfoil hat, is because they were trying to disturb the signal. So one of the guys that was experiencing this, he would put a trash can over his head because that was the only way he could get the pain to stop. But this was a government program to try and influence people using radio waves directly into their skull.
Ooh.
That's so fucked up. And yet it was allowed to happen, right? A lot of the stuff that you hear about now, you're like, how is that ever even allowed to happen? Like gay inversion therapy. You know, like you take a gay person, you make them watch gay porn, and you stick needles in their dick and stuff like that, so they don't like it. Like, what? Looking back on this, it's like this is like medieval, fucking weird.
Yeah.
You know, so mental institutions were getting up to all kinds of shit, and which is why I think a lot of serial killers came out of mental institutions.
And then they closed them all because that's usually a good idea.
They closed some of them. Some of them are still open. And as far as I know, Trump is trying to reinvigorate the mental institute. Have you seen that shit?
No.
Recently.
It wouldn't surprise me.
So recently he's decided, like, not only does he want to reinvigorate mental institutions, but he wants to like put all the homeless people in there, whether they're crazy or not.
Well, that's
he
where
wants to put.
Yeah, that's one of the things, though, is like that's where a lot of one of the reasons we have so many homeless now is because the state institutions were all closed. Because bottom line is that's where they would put them because they didn't have anywhere else to.
Because it's the trash people, right? Yeah, these are the people that we just throw away. We shove them in a filing cabinet somewhere. They get, you know, they even do like drug trials in mental institutions on these. Did you hear about the one homeless guy eating the face off the other homeless guy in like Florida or something like that?
Miami. Yeah.
Do you remember what the drug was they were trying out?
Well, they said it was spice, but he was part of a drug trial that was not disclosed.
I can't remember what that was.
But they said it was spice. Like,
that's what they blamed it on.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, spice. I don't know about you guys, but you used to could buy it at like Circle K, 7-Eleven, and it was like, oh, it's like weed, but it's like you can get it at the gas station. Fuck that shit.
Weed, yeah.
I thought I was going to fucking die when I smoked that shit.
There's other I mean, they just keep changing the formula now.
Yeah.
Because there's all kinds of shit like that. You can buy it all the time. So it's wild. It's awful.
Yeah, that shit is something else.
Yep.
So people who smoke that shit in prison, it would make them look fucking crazy. They do nutty shit.
Yeah.
It was absolutely
not acting themselves.
It was absolutely an uncontrolled experiment that was just released on society. And you're telling me
it's like smoking an incense stick or something.
Right.
Like literally, it was like smoking. Like, who the fuck thought of this? And it's literally called spice. Like you're smoking a pine cone or some shit like that. But it made a homeless guy eat the face off another homeless guy. And it's like, this is what they get onto at these mental institutions. So this guy, Richard Chase, he was institutionalized multiple times throughout his life. And he would have conversations with nobody. You know, this is documented that he would just like talk to himself, said he heard voices. And he apparently had a healthy appetite for hallucinogenic drugs. And that
LSD
started also from, it started at the mental institution and then snowballed from there because they claimed, and this is the claim that I think is utter bullshit, but they said the reason he was the way he was and that the reason he ended up being a serial killer is because he abused LSD and he was seeing fucking shadow fucking people and they told him to start, you know, doing all this nonsense. But I can't get on with that. I think that, you know, there have been a number of serial killers who have abused drugs and whatever. Like they blame the whole Charles Manson thing on they were doing LSD and it's like, if you know the real story behind the Charles Manson thing, you know, LSD sure played a part in it, but they didn't start fucking killing people because they were on LSD. It was a whole program.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, Julia, it seems like LSD is always the cover story. You know,
yeah.
MK Ultra experiments. Oh, that was just LSD experiments, and then all these serial killers. Oh, that was just LSD. It was turning them into that. That's always the
it's
cover
like
story.
it's the cop out for why these guys are the way that they are.
Yeah.
And
It's also like a cop out for like half the stuff that came out of the musicians' mouths back in the day, where they were occult as fuck. Everybody's like, it's just the drugs they took. It doesn't mean anything.
Well,
100.
you guys know who Jerry Marzinski is?
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, if you go by what Jerry says, and I firmly believe in a lot of it that he says, because when I worked for the VA, I had I worked with the worst, like schizophrenic, the schizophrenics, the really severe bipolar, and what the hell's the other thing?
Split personality.
Yeah, but that's not what it was. But either way, it was awful.
Dissociative.
Yeah, that stuff. So it was awful. And I just know, Jerry Marzinski says that folks with schizophrenia are probably, if not possessed by, oppressed by demons.
See, that's 100% where I'm at this point, because even with a lot of the MK stuff, I think it was just to and with satanic ritual abuse, right? It's to traumatize the individual to the point where they're an open vessel.
They're just open doors, man.
Right. And
But
you can then insert something in,
yeah.
right? And that's what I think a lot of this really boils down to, especially schizophrenia. I think there are some genuine cases of schizophrenia, somebody that used to go to school with, whatever. And then there are artificial cases of schizophrenia, which I feel like is what we're looking at with this guy. And every time that he would go to the mental institution, he would be released back to his mother under a conservatorship. So he was like the Britney Spears of the serial killer world. He's under this fucking conservatorship, but he still ends up becoming a serial killer. Like, way to go, mom! You're a great influence. This guy's great. You did a bang up job. I think it had to have happened early on, because when he was young, he went to this place called Beverly Manor, and all the staff and all the other inmates, if you will, they started calling him Dracula. And at the time, it was because he told them that in his spare time, he enjoyed capturing and killing animals and then eating them raw. Yeah. But
putting them in blenders and shit.
He would blend them up like some kind of fucked up fucking Fatal Attraction rabbit smoothie.
I remember it now.
And yes, and he would eat and drink the blood.
He thought it was medicine for himself.
Right.
Right?
Yeah. Like, and he would, like, it was medicinal to do this.
Yeah.
Now think about this, right? I get schizophrenia. Okay. I can get that. I don't get how that then, I know some people who have been diagnosed with some mental disorders or whatever. They don't blend up and then drink fucking animal stew. You know what I'm saying? This is on the next level. This is some next level shit.
That's probably like Dahmer. Like, he just wanted to see the insides. He wasn't trying to eat the fucking shit.
He wasn't eating,
right?
Not yet.
He wasn't eating them yet, but like Dahmer started out with some weird roadkill fascination and the taxidermy and all that. And then I don't know if you guys have watched the Ed Gein on Netflix. The new
I haven't watched it yet, but man, that dude's wow.
That dude, I mean, think about it. He inspired the character Norman Bates, right? Into some weird taxidermy necro shit with the dead stuff. And I mean, this guy Richard Chase is no different. You see this pattern. What they say like if you were to ask the FBI or like the criminal profiling unit, it's like this is a profile we can set up to where we know if there'll be a serial killer because they torture animals and they do this and that and this.
They
But my
definitely have a
argument to
profile.
that, there is a profile, but my argument to that is if you really look past that part and you say, oh, well, odd. Another connection is they were all in mental institutions or they were all in the military or they were all, it's like there are more than just a few coincidences when it comes to this level depraved serial killer. He's not just your average Joe, you know, murdered his mom and fucking ran away. No, this guy's on some other shit. And so around September 1976, he showed up in Washington, D.C., even though he's from California and spent his entire life in California. He randomly shows up in Washington, D.C. like he's invited there for reasons unknown. And if you remember, Jeffrey Dahmer also had some kind of a weird connection to someone in Washington, D.C. because he was from Ohio. But when his class went to go visit Washington, D.C., he called somebody at the White House and was able to arrange a private tour of the White House. It's like, how, like,
That's
who
not a
does he know?
coincidence.
That's what I'm saying, Headless. It's like, who does he know that he could call someone and get a private tour of the White House set up? And it's the same with this Richard Chase guy. It's like he's from California, but he's been invited to go to Washington, D.C. Reasons unknown, right? And he never explained what he was doing in Washington, D.C., but they found him with 2 loaded blood-stained rifles in the seat of his pickup truck. And he had blood-stained clothes and shoes in the seat of his pickup truck. And in the floorboard, there was a big ass bucket of blood. And inside the bucket of blood was a fucking floating human liver, just floating in a huge ass bucket of blood. And he later said it was from a cow, but no, it was a human liver floating. And he was naked, dripping with blood, fucking blood all dried, fucking caked in his whiskers and shit. And he fled from the officers upon their approach. And when he was arrested and apprehended, just like government cheese killer, right? He's charged with completely unrelated charges than what he should have been. So instead of being charged for the bucket of blood with the human liver, how about being naked in public, dripping with blood all over you and 2 guns loaded in your truck? No, he's charged with gun violations. Never mind about the liver, never mind about the blood, never mind about him being naked in public, never mind about any of that. He's charged with fucking a gun violation. No questions about the liver. I mean, really, think about that. And he got out, like, they arrested him, and then he subsequently was released like within a few days after that. So no questions about the fresh blood in the bucket and the 2 loaded guns and the fucking no questions about that.
It's like California just didn't do shit about any of that stuff. It's so weird. Like Highway Patrol would pull people over with all kinds of wacky stuff going on. They'd be like, okay, go ahead. It's like, remember that show Chips?
Human liver.
It was like, you know, just crazy. I just don't understand it. It's weird.
Bennett, you know, this is what I'm talking about, though. It's like, I am a normal human being. I am not involved in any secret government program. If I had a bucket of blood and a fucking floating liver and I got pulled over, guess what? I'm not going to get released tomorrow on some fucking, you know, just released on a $5 bail or some shit like that. No questions asked about the liver. Where'd you get it? Why do you have it? Like nothing.
That is, yeah.
It doesn't make any sense.
So the same thing has happened to multiple different serial killers throughout time that I feel like are part of these programs. Number one, Randy Kraft, the government cheese killer, apprehended, released shortly after. The dating game killer, Jeffrey Dahmer. Jeffrey Dahmer literally had they had the victim right there. He was naked. He was bleeding from his beehole. He was like, this guy's trying to kill me. This guy's trying to kill me. And they were like, oh, you guys are gay fucking weirdos. Go on, get out of here. Like,
Right.
these guys, it's like they skirt every time. They
It's
are
San Francisco, I guess. So some weird stuff, I guess.
It's crazy
What's-
how that.
I thought that was Wisconsin.
Jeffrey Dahmer
right?
was Wisconsin.
Wisconsin,
Yeah.
but yeah, I'm talking. Yeah, this guy was San Francisco, and so was the cheese kill. Well, not just
Government
San Francisco, but
cheese
the government
was-
cheese killer. He was California, but not maybe as high north there, but still.
Well, I mean, a lot of serial killers come out of California. Let's be real. That's like the playground for slicing and dicing. Zodiac, all of them.
Yeah, all of them.
Manson family. But so the Vampire of Sacramento, this guy, he's released and then he buys a couple more guns and then he goes on a killing spree. And part of the reason they call him, aside from the blood thing, a vampire is because he chose his victims based on who had their door unlocked that night. So he would go around and check doorknobs. And if you were the lucky contestant who left your door open that night, he took that as an invitation to enter, and he sliced, diced, and he would exsanguinate, I think that's how you say it, his victims, basically drain their blood. He used a used yogurt cup, like fucking Go-Gurt. Really, he should be called the Go-Gurt Vampire of Sacramento. Like, really, he used a used yogurt cup to drink his victim's blood. So he would somehow slice, dice, collect the blood in a yogurt cup, take some shots, and then leave them there. And obviously this has gotten him the Vampire of Sacramento name, but he was into all type of satanic weird stuff. Needed to consume the life blood and all this, and was blending up animals in the blender, and he had no limits to his like depravity. He would go after whoever was in the house. Like I said, if your door was open, it was free game. He killed a 22-month-old baby, exsanguinated them, drank the blood. He killed another toddler, I think was like 2 years old or something like that. Or actually, hang on, I have it in my notes here. He killed a bunch of like adult people. He killed a 6-year-old and a 22-month-old. And I mean, so it's like whoever was in the house, it was just like open season. And he was into all type of, depraved shit. And he was into cannibalism as well, just like Ed Gein and Dahmer. A lot of these guys in Program to Kill, they're called the Collectors. I think Herb Baumeister, people might be familiar with that guy. He was known as a collector. And I think even Gacy was known as a collector because they would just keep body parts and like weird shit. And they were all kind of into necro stuff. But yeah, this guy, he gets convicted, sentenced, and then he committed suicide in prison by overdosing on hoarded antidepressants, supposedly. But I think it could be another case of, this guy might have been ready to spill some beans on where he got this fucking notion that he needed to be doing this stuff. So he got the old Epstein treatment, if you will. But
I love how they throw that in there. Marijuana and LSD. It's like, oh,
Mhm.
well, it's a little bit past the 1970s form of propaganda, so I don't
Yeah.
know if that's gonna fly on this generation.
Right.
Right. So it's like they say that he just got really high on smoking marijuana and he just decided to eat people's livers. I mean, give me a break.
They drink their blood.
Right.
Is this him? This is
Yeah, I was
Vampire Sacramento.
pulling up a photo.
Look
Oh,
at this
yeah.
guy.
Look at this guy.
Look at this fucking guy.
Nice.
Now, he looks, as they say, somebody with the dead eyes, like lights are on, nobody's home kind of shit. You see that a lot with the like Sirhan and the
Yep.
guy who shot John Lennon, and it's like, okay, there's literally this is an empty vessel person. Like there
So
is nobody in there.
to bring that up, I mean, we know a little bit about that famous CIA poisoner guy that went into Jack Ruby's cell and gave him a overdose of something. I heard what it was that he uses is meth and LSD, right? So he overdoses the victim on meth and LSD, and then they completely lose their minds. At least in the case of Jack Ruby, he was completely, psychotic after that. So
Well,
I
think
wonder,
about that, Headless.
is that a
Think about
similar?
that.
Yeah.
It's all connected, because once you empty somebody's spirit out of their body, or you place it, or you like you check them out and you put somebody else in, they're now the driver. It's like I use the example of that movie Get Out. Have you guys seen that, Get Out? I think they're
Yeah.
really doing that to people. They're putting them in the sunken place, right? And then like they put somebody else in there that's like running the body and like doing shit like that. And like
Well,
every now and again, the real person comes to the forefront and they're like, "You murdered all these people and ate livers and stabbed bunnies." And they're like, "What?" They're like, "No, I didn't, bitch." Like, what are you talking about?
well, here's the really fucked up part is what if those are the people it didn't work on, right? So they're trying to make more of this guy, and those are the people it didn't take on. So he gets to chop them up and get rid of the evidence.
Yeah, I've thought about that too, I've thought like they could be like garbage disposal people. It's like get rid of this, get rid of that. Like they're the chop shop guys.
Right.
But so when I was looking into all this stuff and I found this Richard Chase guy, I started thinking like this cannot be a new phenomenon of like a vampiric serial killer. This would be like a more modern version of a vampiric serial killer, even though it
Yeah.
was in the 1970s and that seems like forever away. The notion of vampiric serial killers goes all the way back to like fucking ancient times, right? This blood drinking, weird necro sacrificial
Yeah.
crap. The first that I can think of besides like the first popular example I can think of that people would understand would be like Vlad the Impaler. But I didn't want to like spend too much time looking into him because everybody knows about that guy, right?
Yeah.
And whether or not it's true or the stories and he impaled people, whatever, the royal family seems to think that he was an okay guy, right? Oh, I'm second cousins with Vlad the Impaler, and like they're like so proud of that, and they, you know what I mean? They used the castle for some kind of COVID vax center during the pandemic, and they think it's a big funny joke. But so I skipped past that one because everybody knows about Vlad the Impaler. Great, he's a vampire or he's not. That it makes for a cool movie. But have you ever heard of this bitch, Countess Elizabeth Bathory?
Yes, I have. Hungarian.
Sick shit.
Yeah.
Hungarian royal family. This bitch was on some other fucking shit. Bennett, you never heard of this?
Yeah, I think I have. I'm not positive, but I think I have. And
All
once
right,
you
well,
get
I'm
into
about
it, I'm
to
sure I will.
Well, I mean, I'm about to tell you about this bitch, but you just brace yourself because Nick, you heard of her?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
So
pretty sure
I
that
mean,
Second Hostel. Did you ever see that one with the chicks in it? I'm pretty sure that was like possibly based off of her, like, or her situation a little bit.
It's so many movies are based off of this bitch.
Well, I haven't seen that, but actually, I came to know about her from a movie. It's actually a B movie. It's called Stay Alive. Have you heard of that? It's got like Frankie Muniz in it. And it's about a video game, and if you die in the video game, you die in real life. If you get killed in the game, the spirit of Elizabeth Bathory will come find you, and you die the same way you died in the game. It's actually a B movie, and I, just randomly came across it one time, and I was like, "Oh, I thought the bitch was made up for the movie." Like, I really did. I was like, "That is so depraved. There's no way that could be a real person." Was I, boy, was I wrong about that. It really is a real person. Now, this is a Hungarian royal family person.
I know who she is.
Because it's like rich people fun time for these people. Stabby, stabby, cut, cut. That's the game. This woman, just like with a lot of the weirdo royal family members, she was into abducting bitches, cutting their titties off, draining them of blood, bathing in the blood, doing some kind of fucked up facial mask with the blood. And this was supposed to like keep her young and keep her vibrant and like whatever. The weird thing is that this movie that I found, that I came to know of her, Stay Alive, it's a 2006 movie, and I Googled it to kind of see like what's behind the movie, because it's oddly specific. They mentioned this book. It's called The Witch's Hammer, and that's a real book. And there was like there was like all this weird like real stuff in the movie, and I was like, that's crazy, because that's actually like a real book or whatever. Like during the Inquisition, they really like murdered people with this book. So I was just looking into the movie, and it was released under the Hollywood Pictures label, but it's actually the only slasher film ever produced by Walt Disney Pictures.
Really?
And yeah, I was like, okay, so Disney, in the history of fucking Disney, decided they were going to make one slasher movie in the history of Disney, and it's about this Countess Elizabeth Bathory. Oddly specific, in my opinion. Like, if Disney was going to put their name on something, they're going to put it on a B slasher movie that like didn't even do very well about this Countess Elizabeth Bathory. I mean, what do you guys think about that? I mean, Disney literally never, ever would never make a movie like this, right?
I'm surprised they made it and then also didn't like try to actually promote it.
It's like they just wanted to know they had something to do with it, maybe. I mean, it's a weird, like, there's a lot of conspiracy stuff in the movie. It's like I said, it's got like that weird witch's hammer stuff. It's got like ritual scenes where it's like people in pig masks and like slashing and dashing people, and
Frankie Muniz was in Malcolm in the Middle on ABC, and ABC was Disney. So I think what they were trying to do is get another thing out of his contract.
Who knows?
Why did it have to be about this bitch, though?
Exactly.
Like
what the hell is it about this?
It's like the original adrenochrome freaking soaker.
Yup.
Sitting there soaking it in, just like literally taking baths.
The worst part about the story is how there was absolutely no justice at all whatsoever. So these girls just kept disappearing, and they're like, where are all our girls? What are you doing to these girls?
So they say 80 confirmed, right? But
Bennett.
Witnesses claimed 650 plus.
There wasn't no 80.
No, I'm just
80
saying.
would have been on a fucking
that's what they
Tuesday
say.
afternoon.
Official. That's crazy. That's a lot of
Dude,
people, man.
there was eyewitness testimony. They said, I saw bitches with their titties cut off in the basement, chained up, fucking slashed open with the entrails hanging out. They seen the shit, right? But they got discredited because this was a royal family member, right?
Yeah,
They're not supposed
right.
to be openly crazy, slashing bitches' titties off and stuff like that. The real number, eyewitness confirmed, is around 650.
Yeah.
Like, that's crazy. This bitch wasn't even alive long enough to have killed 650. I think she had a fucking team of people helping her. It said that she had like servants and shit helping
She
her
had other
out,
servants
right?
doing it. Yeah. And the worst thing is they sat her down and gave her a good talking to after the first time she got caught. And then they let her go right back to doing it again. They said, don't let it happen again. And she got killed another 300. And they didn't
that's
stop
the thing.
and strip her of all of her titles and everything until after she had gone through like village after village. And they kept moving her around too.
Yeah. So Headless is
They
spot on
bricked
with
her into
that.
the room, right?
Okay. This is what they say they did with this bitch, because a royal family member, obviously, they're not going to get the punishment that if I killed 650 bitches and cut their titties off, I'm not going to get this treatment, right? But she's a royal family member, so she's going to be handled with like kid gloves. What they did was they executed all of her servants, because fuck them, right? If they had, you know, to kill somebody had to be held accountable for this shit. So they killed all of her servants. And then they told her, Elizabeth, you cut the titties off of 650 bitches. And that's a no-no. So you got to stay inside and you're not allowed to go outside anymore. Okay,
Like
you got it. You're on house arrest. Bad girl, Elizabeth, with the 650 titties. Like, they just gave her house arrest.
Would be 1,300 titties, not just 650.
Right. Right. And so there are all these eyewitness testimonies from priests that would go and visit her, and they said, well, we've locked her up in the tower and we've bricked her in there, and she's
in there.
And the priests were like, nah, that bitch was walking around the castle unhindered. She was fucking planting daisies in the backyard. She probably had some kind of fucked up nipple belt that she wore from all the victims that she killed. I mean, she was on some weird necro shit and never got punished for it. She probably was, they probably were. Yeah, I mean, like, they were probably still sneaking her victims, in my opinion. You know, it's
she
like,
could have had a full dress of ears.
Yeah, literally.
Like a full dress of ears.
She could have had a full dress of fucking titties. And like, I mean, it's crazy to me. 650. And she didn't even get house arrest. They were just letting her walk around, live her life. She just couldn't go into town anymore.
You think eventually you lock her up because you're gonna get stuck with bitches out there with no tits. She's just gonna kill everybody. We like boobies. Can we save some? Like,
it's just insane to me that people would let it go on this long. It's like, what? Why? Just go in there and kill the bitch. She's crazy. Because
who knows what they were doing too, man.
You know how she got caught.
Had to be screwed up for everybody. They were just scared to death.
This is how she got caught. It's so fucked up. So she was killing and cutting the titties off all of like the lesser gentry is what they're called. Like all the border slave women and servants. And she ran out of the lesser gentry. She ran out of titties to cut off. Ran out. So she had to move to like the middle class and upper gentry. Because she was she was in the market for some new titties and had ran out of all of like the slave girls and servants. So she started killing people's like daughters who were kind of like upper class, and like they started noticing that shit. Like, okay, well, my daughter went to go have lunch with Elizabeth, and she's either dead or came back with no titties. And so they started putting two and two together, and they were like, Elizabeth, you can't do this. And then they found out after they raided the castle or whatever that she just had bodies all over the place, buried in like concentration camp style like pits in the backyard. And like, I mean, this woman, all right. Now, this is what they have done though, is they've made it all like woke shit. Like they've made it they've turned it into something that it's not, because they said none of that actually ever happened. It's just a horror story. What really happened was the men were threatened by this powerful noblewoman, and they were trying to get rid of her by making up all these stories about her. So because the men were so threatened by her because she's a powerful no. This is classic royal family behavior. Okay, it's like the human
You're
hunt.
seriously telling me that they're trying to reimagine this story just to try and make her look like not a monster?
That's exactly what they're doing on some woke shit. Like they were anti-feminists, and they were this and that, and they were just trying to make her look bad. Okay, that's fine. How do you account for the 650 titties? Like, are we just gonna overlook
I'm
that?
reading right now about her husband, who is a sick bastard as well.
Right.
Right.
His nickname was the Black Knight of Hungary. Executed Ottoman prisoners by roasting, flaying, or hanging them on from iron hooks. Soldiers documented that he and Elizabeth shared violent discipline games involving servants. No evidence that he drank blood, but he normalized cruelty in his household. This mattered because sadism between spouses can escalate when one partner is mentally unstable.
Bennett, they were the first they were the titty cutting Bonnie and Clyde.
It's crazy, right?
Okay?
So the fact that her husband, probably was part of this,
absolutely, he was part of it. He probably was like her biggest hype man. He was down in the fucking dungeon, like, yeah, cut those titties. Like that's rich people fun time. Stabby, cut. They love this shit. They hunt people. This is a game for them.
I don't want to ruin another thing for you, Julia, but I gotta mention the Addams family, because it seems like that's sort of what we're orbiting here, is like all of these old money families, right, that don't seem to have any source of wealth or whatever, are acting really strange in these sort of dark corners. What are they really up to? And that sort of encompasses the whole problem that we're facing today, basically.
And a lot of this
woman's
elites. A lot of this woman's not her family's line. If you go back, lots of occult stuff. I'm reading. That's what I'm saying, now.
Bennett. I mean, if you look into this woman, you will find a treasure trove of stuff, because it's not just like, the guy that I opened up with, Richard Chase, he's like a generic dollar store version of what the royal family has been doing for the longest, like this weird blood drinking, sacrificial, satanic cults and all this, cutting bitches' titties off and bathing in their blood and stuff. Like, this has been going on forever long. And it's like people get hung up on Vlad the Impaler because Charles says like he's descended from him or whatever.
I think half the royal families in Europe are descended from him.
Well, yeah, and that's fine, but it's like, look at this woman. All of them, maybe. That's why they got like cleft palates and shit, is because they be doing inbreeding with people like this. If this is your great grandma, you're gonna look fucked up, right? You're gonna have a cleft lip and all that, like Joaquin Phoenix shit. So, I mean, I just, the more I looked into her, I was like, wow, like this has been going on forever. And Disney decided to put their name on something about her. and they did not really add any spices to the story in the movie. Like they pretty much included everything, and it was pretty factual, which that out of all the movies Disney could have, co-signed, they wanted to make this, right, about Countess Elizabeth Bathory. But
there's an interesting angle there. Is like, you've got Prince Charles, who's supposedly related to Vlad the Impaler, and they're talking about all of this stuff going on at Disney. Who did Disney appeal to when they were having their tax problems? They said, we've got a 900-year lease with England, so you got to take it up with those guys.
Mm-hmm.
And they're making
this is the problem.
This ancient British line of vampire people.
Vampire people is correct. Yeah, I mean, and it's like the notion of the vampire goes back to like ancient times, right? They're on like totem poles, and the Native Americans talk about like actual vampires. But I think it could honestly be based off of some shit like this, like real people cohorting with like some weird spiritualism, partaking in blood rituals, blood drinking. This is not a new concept by any means, but even 1970s, we got this Vampire of Sacramento guy ripping and running, and it's still like, Jeffrey Dahmer and like Ed Gein, they keep coming out with these documentaries to like put it in our face that this is just a thing, cannibalism, blood drinking. It's just whatever. And
it's just a lifestyle choice.
Right. It's that's what I'm saying. It's like, that's just what they like, we can't judge them. They like a little blood yogurt cup. Who cares? But the last vampire I actually wanted to talk to you guys about, I found from a show too, and I thought that the bitch was made up, but she's the really shit. And it's American Horror Story season 3. If you guys are familiar, Coven, have you watched any?
I haven't watched
either of you guys.
3.
Parts of it.
You haven't.
Series, yeah. Unfortunately, I think I was in federal prison or getting into the system at that time.
Oh boy, they didn't have a good American Horror Story spread in prison for you.
Oh no, it was on. It's just I forgot. It was just me going through transit and shit. I kept missing it.
Yeah, I mean, season 3 is great, Nick. You would like it. I think you should check it out. Headless, did you see it?
I remember seeing it. Yeah, I think I might have been getting deployed at the time too.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Yo, you know what's crazy is that I think me and him were looking at it. I was in Fort Dix, right? At the same time, you were probably like there on the other side of the fence.
Pre-deployment. Yep.
It's fucking insane. I was probably literally on the other side of the fence of him in Fort Dix compound.
Well, I do want to say, just from the comments here, Benjamin, he says that's the best season of American Horror Story. I love that season. I fucking love that season. It really is my favorite. And somebody else said True Detective, season 1.
Oh yes,
season 1 is fucking amazing.
It is wild.
Yeah. It is wild.
There's lots of just titties in that.
Oh fuck yeah, cut off titties too. So Right. But that's besides the point. I just wanted to say I saw that comment and I agree. I love True Detective season 1 and American Horror Story season 3. So we meet this woman. Her name is Madame Delphine Lalaurie. Have you heard of her at all?
Right. Back down to New Orleans. That's the
New Orleans
voodoo show, right?
Yes. Now she is in American Horror Story season 3. I thought again that the bitch was made up because it was so beyond the comprehension of me at the time, thinking that some human being was capable of doing this stuff. And I find out, yep, she's real, and they didn't really add any spices. They got it pretty fucking on the head. She really did do all this stuff. And she is like one of these vampire serial killers. And she murdered and tortured enslaved people in the 1800s. So this is after Elizabeth Bathory, obviously, and all that. But she lived in New Orleans. She was like a kind of an elite type person, had money, connections, stuff like that. And she had all these slaves that she kept in her attic, and she would bleed them out, make some kind of a face mask out of the shit, newborn babies, all that, and said it preserved her youth, made her skin look good. And one of the slaves was trying to escape, and they set the house on fire. And when the fire department or whomever arrived at the scene, they found all these slaves in her attic, and they were naked. They were chained to the walls, eyes gouged out, fingernails pulled off. Some of them had been skinned alive. Some of them had been skinned and were still alive and just left festering with like fucking infections and all kinds of shit. Some of them had big holes in their asses where she literally just cut big chunks of their ass off. Their ears were hanging by shreds, their lips were sewn together, intestines pulled out. I mean, sticks in their brains. Like, what'd you say, Nick?
How the fuck does somebody do all that?
This is what I'm saying.
You think they're even there in their mind when they're doing this shit?
Nick.
Yeah, it's so weird.
That's why I said I thought the bitch was made up.
Jesus Christ. What kind of motherfucker really open for that?
Like this is the stuff like when you watch it in a show, you're like, okay, well they've dramatized it a little.
Yeah.
No, they didn't dramatize anything.
They censor this.
Right, yeah. So she had pulled their intestines out, stuff like that. She put sticks in their brains and like would steer their brains around. Rich people fun time, right? She's an elite class woman. She's got all these slaves. They're her property, right? So she can do whatever she wants to them. She's bleeding them, doing all these weird like Frankenstein fucking experiments on them. Bathing in the blood, doing all this stuff. And there was evidence that they found that she was actually on some makeshift human centipede type shit, like sewing lips and bee holes together. And imagine stumbling upon this. You think you're responding to a local fire. Oh, Madame Lalaurie house was on fire. Imagine walking into that. Okay. We got people's lips and assholes sewn together. We got
a human centipede,
eyes gouged out. Yeah, I mean fingernails pulled off. People skinned alive. It's like, okay, there's something else going on here.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. It's all one person.
Okay, ahead. Yeah. And her husband again was like her biggest hype man. Like, go Lalaurie. Yeah. Like he was all about it. Yeah.
And Kathy Bates played her. What?
Kathy Bates played her. Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Another one. She's man. Wow.
I'm telling you, you guys need to check out American Horror Story season 3. That shit was off the chain, man. I love American Horror Story season 3. I watch it every year for Halloween. But so when they found all this stuff in her house, she skipped town, and to this day, no one knows what happened to her. But something else odd about this is, and some of you may know this in the chat. If you do, throw it in there. But Nicolas Cage actually bought this woman's home in New Orleans in 2007. He paid $3.45 million to own the home of this blood countess Lalaurie. So there's pictures of it right here. Nicolas Cage, he went out of his way to obtain this residence. And what's odd to me about that is he had the mortgage documents arranged in such a way that his name did not appear on them. So maybe he didn't want people finding out about his strange admiration for a sadistic vampire serial killer. Or maybe it's because he's a vampire himself. You know, the Coppola family is a fucking whole nother rabbit hole episode. But yeah, I thought that was weird. Nicolas Cage also has already purchased his tombstone for when he dies. It's just down the street from this house. It's in New Orleans. And it's a solid white pyramid. You can whoever's got the screen share, pull up Nicolas Cage headstone and it'll pull it up. You got to see this shit. It's the weirdest, and it's right down the street from this Blood Countess vampire house. Yeah, headstone. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this.
Man.
Is he a New Orleans native, or is he just fascinated by this place?
He's probably a vampire. All right. Have you seen that picture where it's like, oh, this is a Civil War soldier and he just so happens to look like fucking exactly Nicolas Cage? You seen that shit?
Yeah.
Maybe it is him. Okay. Maybe he's been around a while. Maybe he used to go to the Lalaurie house and fucking stab some slaves in the ass. Like maybe he was into that. He was into it. He loved it.
Loved it.
But so I mean, this is just in my opinion, it's more rich people doing weird rich people stuff, buying this house.
For sure.
What happens when you're rich? You got too much time on your hands to do nothing. You just start fucking
strange.
It's like
stuff.
I'm so bored that I need to stab this woman, cut her titties off, bathe in her blood,
I want to
bury her body in the backyard.
Why not?
And then they kind of make fun of it with the Addams family, right? It's we're just actually we're nice people. We're just kind of quirky and fun. But really the Addams family archetype is what they're working with. Is like a whole family of fucking sickos, top to bottom.
Right. And so I ended my presentation on my show with this quote. Do you guys ever watch Tim Dillon?
Yeah.
Okay, so he was talking about this guy that got busted. He's a royal. He is so funny. There was a royal family member recently that got busted for raping women. His name is Marius Borg Hoiby or something like that. And he was just like going through his dorm room, just like raping anybody he could. And, you know, you got to think this is royal family behavior. But the problem is like they don't understand that the human hunt and all this weird stuff that they do, cutting bitches' titties off and bathing in the blood. This is supposed to be a secret thing. Okay, you can't just go raping any old buddy you want. All right, then people are gonna start finding out what's up. You can't just go raping everybody in your dorm room. Okay, you got to save that for the human hunt. It's like when you and grandma go out and you fucking rape some kids and you kill them and you eat them and you fucking bathe in their blood. Like that's a holiday. You can't just go raping and pillaging on a Tuesday. You have to wait for the ritual. You know what I'm saying? This is what it's all about. And there's still to this day like weirdo vampire serial killers. And it all comes from this idea of like the royals. Who's this guy?
Oh, bring the back up. Well, he's the DuPont heir. And as you can see on the screen there, he was convicted of doing something horrible to his 3-year-old daughter. If you can see that. And so.
What did he do?
Yeah. Sexually assaulted his 3-year-old daughter. And so there was a big
God, look at his face.
Yeah, there was a big standoff between him and the police at his compound. He was firing on the police and they still let him out of jail.
Yeah. And like, isn't he like free right now somewhere?
Yeah. Yeah. He's free. He's under their care. He can't really
Oh
be
my
seen in
God. He
public.
looks like if a Carl's Jr. burger was a person.
Yeah, he didn't go to the court-ordered clinic, so
Oh my God.
he just kind of does whatever he wants to because he's a DuPont. Yeah, that family.
Whoa. Okay, so you're saying he's got connections. He's
Oh,
gonna
yeah.
get the slide because okay. All right.
Okay.
All right. Yeah.
He's
It's
the
the
heir to the
same.
fortune, to
Okay.
the
Yeah.
trust fund.
No. This is what I'm talking about here, guys. Is like rich people fun time, stabby, stabby, cut, bathing in the blood, doing all this stuff. And they have incorporated it, I believe, into this weird serial killer program, like the Phoenix program, Come Home, some weird serial killer decapitation program. It's like they've literally loosed this upon us, and we're just supposed to say, oh my God, that's crazy, these people, they're all just lone psychopaths and I'm terrified. What we don't know is that the royal family has been doing this forever. It's like a fun pastime for them. And a lot of the serial killers who are made in their image, so to speak, are part of a much larger network and program. So I do believe that
life
go
gets
ahead.
a lot easier when you realize that certain parts of the Middle Ages never ended. And those parts were pretty fucking horrific.
Yeah, I agree with you. And the thing about the Vampire of Sacramento, the reason why I like to include that guy is because this is the mid 70s and people were okay and felt safe to actually leave their homes unlocked. There was not such a stigma around it. It was like, I feel safe going to bed, windows unlocked, front door unlocked, whatever. I'm safe. I'm okay. I know that I'm going to wake up tomorrow. What the Vampire of Sacramento did was teach everyone, if you don't lock your door, the boogeyman will come and literally exsanguinate your body, drink your blood, necrophilia type cannibalism shit to you and kill you and your family. So it's like instilling fear in the heart of America. If you don't lock your door, if you don't, it's like instilling literal fear that if you don't watch your six, lock your doors, Richard Chase is going to come murder you and your whole family. They also did that with Richard Ramirez, right? He would come in through people's windows and rape the shit out of them and kill them.
BTK.
So it's like, who? BTK, right? Yeah, it's like the serial killer is useful in more than one way. You can kill people, obviously, but you can also teach everyone that you are not safe in your own home.
Yeah.
You need security systems. You need doors locked. You need fucking be ready because you are not even safe in your own home.
More cops, more cops, more cops. Pay for more cops. We need more cops.
Yeah.
Pay for more.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And I'm not going to lie, before I go to bed at night, especially since I've had the baby, I do this whole like walk around the house thing. I lock the back laundry door. I lock the side door, go around to the front, lock the front door, check it, make sure it's good. I mean, like, this is, even though I'm a conspiracy theorist and I do believe in all of this stuff is like staged and whatever, I don't want to be the fucking La Bianca family, okay, that gets made an example of. I don't want to be the one that ends up on CNN and they talk about how I used to light up a room, but now I'm fucking dead and RIP, and people listen to episodes of my podcast like, oh, Julia was so funny. But no, okay. If you're going to make an example out of someone, it's not going to fucking be me. But I know that this program was a way of instilling fear in everyone, like from the get-go.
Yeah.
Right. The people who were paying to protect us have done a worse and worse job progressively since the time they've been demanding for more and more money to protect you from the psychos. and they're not protecting you from the psychos. Right? So,
right.
the people that we've been given this fear to go running towards have done nothing but sort of betray us with that, because, you know, we pay them more money and they don't have to do as much because that's how they get more money.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And it's like, for me, when I hear, you know, stuff about, I've been talking a lot about a new theory of mine, that when you see a husband who has killed a wife, OJ, Scott Peterson, you know, Chris Watts was a big deal. I'm starting to think that the fucking husbands are getting set up as patsies to cover up some weird, like, are you with me on this, Headless? Because I did an episode, OJ did not do it and Scott Peterson did not do it, but they've been set up to look guilty as fuck. You know, they put all of the focus on the husband, so you don't look at the weird satanic cult shit that they were all into. Like, if you really look at the Scott Peterson case, there's more to that than meets the eye. Okay,
Right.
I know that's controversial.
One of the things that blew it open for me in the OJ case was that nobody ever mentioned her drug problem and how she had these drug dealers right down the street. It's like none of that ever came out at all. And it's like, well, that's the number one cause of, you know, getting involved into some sort of strange murder.
I mean, that's what I'm talking about here. And, you know, if you guys are into it, maybe we could do a episode on that Chris Watts guy, because he supposedly put his family in those big oil silos or whatever. But it's just like with it's just like with Scott Peterson and OJ. It's like there is no actual concrete solid evidence that makes this guy guilty. It's like all like, well, we think he is because he was a piece of shit guy that was cheating on his wife. Cheating on your wife does not make you a murderer. I know that sucks to say. Yeah, he was a piece of shit guy. You know, but it doesn't mean that he killed his wife and kids. I'm sorry. There has been a weird program, just like the program to kill serial killers going on, where it's like wives and kids end up getting murdered, and it always is the husband. Like, without fail, they've always put it on the husband.
All of these cases are unvestigated. You know, these are not investigations. And, you know, serial killers and all of these, you know, everybody blames the husband thing, unvestigated. They don't even have evidence. It's really sad and pathetic, but it's very clear the pattern.
All right, we'll get this shit. All right. And I don't want to keep you guys off on a tangent or anything, but what if all of it is fucking stage theater shit? Lacey Peterson. What were you saying, Nick?
I keep thinking a lot of that more and more, especially with
like these are characters, right? These are characters. You know, it's like, I want to see corpses. I want to see the little kids that they pulled out of the oil silo. I want to see fucking bodies, because they said what with the Scott Peterson? They found Lacey's torso, but not a head, no legs, no arms, just a torso, right? We never saw any photos of the fetus that they supposedly recovered. I mean, it's like, if this is all real, I want to see the fucking bodies, because they have no problem showing bodies with the Ted Bundy, Jeffrey Dahmer, Ed Gein, John Gacy. You can go and see those bodies. They have pictures of the fucking body. It's like, where are these women that are supposedly getting murdered with their kids? I want to see bodies. Or is this all a fucking sideshow? It's a circus act. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think it's one of those things. Well, we can never really know that, you know, because they can think about this case that they manifested really, really hastily. The guy doing the van life with his girlfriend, and then his girlfriend suddenly disappears.
Mm-hmm.
Did we get any actual evidence about any of that stuff, or was it just an internet series that we were all told was actually happening?
Man, I just, you know, and I see people railing against me in the comments. That's fine. I like to keep all possibilities open. Maybe Chris Watts was a murdering piece of shit and he fucking murdered his whole family and put him in an oil silo. If he did, I hope he burns in hell. But what if it's all theater? You know, that's what I'm saying, is like, it's a great Netflix show, because they did make a Netflix show about it. Like when they put stuff on Netflix, you automatically need to assume something more is going on. Just like with the Menendez brothers, when they made that whole show about the Menendez brothers.
Yeah.
Unpopular opinion, I don't think those guys deserved a day in prison if their dad was really doing what I think he was doing,
it goes back to the families. You're not allowed to cross the families. If you kill your own dad and you're in that position, you're going to jail.
But weren't the Menendez brothers, like their family was like some upper echelon motherfuckers?
Exactly. You're not allowed to kill those people.
No, but even if your dad's been raping you your whole life and your mom's going like, no, it's rapey time. You can't go down the hallway. Dad's with your brother raping him. It's like, okay, well,
that evidence. They suppressed that evidence in court.
That's what I'm saying, Headless. Is like, these rich elite fuckers, and like, this is a fun pastime for them, raping their kid, and then their kids getting raped their entire lives. They were like, I can't do it anymore, shot their parents in the face hole, and they get to spend the rest of their lives in prison. Okay. Right. Is that justice? Is that justice? I don't think so. I mean, maybe that's unpopular opinion. Someone was raping me my whole life, especially my dad. I would go Lizzie Borden on the motherfucker. Okay. So what's this? Amityville Horror never made sense, even with pictures. That's what I'm saying.
I don't believe that bullshit either. That stuff just doesn't make any sense.
That's what I'm saying, dude.
Silly, I think.
But
my friend lived across the street from that house.
Amityville.
My boy Kempton. Shout out if he ever listens to this. My boy Kempton from Amityville. Yeah, I used to go visit him sometimes, and he lived across the street. It was like a few houses down across the street. Yep.
I got a story about that if you want it.
Yeah.
Well, I was gonna. I don't know what you were about to say, but I was just gonna say it never made sense to me either. Go ahead.
So, my dad knew a guy who was cousins with one of Ronnie DeFeo's family members, like extended family members. But he actually signed my copy of Amityville Horror, and he said when Ronnie DeFeo actually shot those people, it was terrible and whatever. It's like, should I have had him sign that? It's just really odd. But yeah, he was like almost confirming the official story and how he signed it. So it's kind of strange. But
do you get on with the official story?
I don't know. I mean, I didn't know that there was a big question about Ronnie DeFeo shooting his family, if that was a thing, but
he was involved with like some mobsters and gangsters and shit. And and then when he was imprisoned, he would say like he was paid to take out his family because like his dad was involved in some weird shit. Like, not that it's a big CIA cover-up thing, but it's like his dad was like involved with some shady dealings, and it's like they used the son to get to the family to like exact some type of like revenge or like pay off some kind of debt he owed. Right. But they like to make great horror movies about him being possessed by a demon and stuff like that.
That's what I was gonna say. Headless, did you know that was even a theory, him being possessed by a demon?
I had no idea. Well, I know about the possessed by demons. Yeah. I know about the possessed by demons, but I didn't know about the mob associations. Okay. That's crazy. I mean, if there are those associations. About that.
Living on Long Island, yeah, you heard about that shit.
Oh shit. Yeah.
But even if he is possessed by demons, I don't know if you guys ever saw the Amityville with Ryan Reynolds when they remade that shit. You guys saw that one? Yes. I mean, they took it to the whole nother there was like a Native American element that they fucking skirted in there, and like the house was built on like Native American tribal burial mounds and like all this stuff. It's like, no, dude, his dad probably fucked somebody over in a bad deal, and they had that kid go in there and blow his family's head off because he was a piece of shit. There's just always more to the story.
Yeah.
There's just always more to the story.
There were people saying that he was at the night that happened. I forgot the name of the bar that night near the house. he was down there supposedly tripping out and fucking sniffing coke. So they're like, who knows? He could have went home and was just fucking whacked and killed people.
I've heard that too. That he was a druggie, that he was, all fucked up. And actually, based on some of the people who knew the family, they all said that his dad and his mom never liked him, that he was a shithead kid.
Oh no, the guy was known as a degenerate. I mean,
yeah. They were like, they wanted him out of the house and shit like that. They wanted to kick him out. So it's like maybe this guy just had he was like a spoiled brat, obviously into drugs and like some kind of weird gangster stuff, and he just was like, fuck you guys, and shot his whole family. I mean, stranger things have happened, believe it or not.
I've mentioned it a few times. There was you look it up in Ronkonkoma, depending on, but you can definitely find it. Like a Dungeons and Dragons kid who said that the game told him to kill his parents, and he killed like 1 or 2 people in his family because the game told him to do it. The kid lived on the corner of my block. I was like, yo.
Okay, so this is the thing, Nick.
I was like, what, a fucking board game told him to do that? Like, I'm just assuming the guy's sick. I didn't
Well,
believe
that's why nerds are dangerous. You ever went to school with a motherfucker you made fun of? Nerdy motherfucker, you fucking weird piece of shit, Dungeons and Dragons weird fucker.
I resemble that.
Yeah, you do, Headless. You're the dangerous one. Okay, it's never the kid that gets kicked out of class. It's always the nerdy weird one that plays like Dungeons and Dragons and fucking kills his whole family one night. It's always look out for the weird nerdy guy.
There was no, I forget. I don't even want to say this. Well, it's too late. Not saying that Headless is like this, but a lot of the pedophiles played that shit in Fort Dix.
Well, really? That's the thing. It's it's always
Dungeons and Dragons, Magic cards, and they were big on comics still. Like all shit that would make sense for a 12-year-old motherfucker.
Yeah, but they're actually serial killers and pedophiles. Look out for the nerdy dude that plays clarinet. That's all I'm saying. It's like that one guy who has bad acne and always their clothes are all mismatched and they love to play Magic the Gathering. That motherfucker will kill you. Be careful. All right. It's never the one you suspect.
If they still play Magic the Gathering and they're 45 years old, you got to look out for those motherfuckers.
Yes.
They will murder you. Murder. Okay, they will murder your ass. That's what I'm saying is it's never the guy that looks like Nick that's been to jail and he's seen some shit and he smokes a lot of joints. It's never that guy, okay? It's the guy 45 playing Magic the Gathering who,
just who's literally like a freaking accountant for the DOD.
Wears fucking SpongeBob SquarePants t-shirts. Like that guy will murder you.
As he's playing Magic.
You.
Shit's getting deep.
He's like, that's that dude who's like lightning bolt.
Magic missile. Did you ever see the what is that show? Reno 911?
Yes.
And when they're doing the LARP stuff and they're literally shooting each other with arrows and stuff. It's the funniest thing. The cops come in, there's a dude with an arrow sticking out of his chest. And he's like, well, I cast the spell and he didn't block it, so he got hit with the arrow.
Right. That's what those are future serial killers. So okay. That's what I'm saying, dude. I don't know. But a lot of these royal family members, if you really look at them, they're these weird, nerdy, gross motherfuckers. They're all skinny and weird looking with their cleft palate and shit like that.
We were in the middle of our tournament when my friend John said he found a body in the bushes over there. I ran over there because I'm a healing monk to try and help, but obviously my magic wasn't strong enough because the dude's body was missing a head. So my friend decided to try and use a necromancer spell, which didn't work, which I knew it wouldn't. And apparently we contaminated the crime scene because that spell uses a lot of glitter.
The funniest thing is they'll wear this whole suit of armor and then they have glasses on. which didn't exist back then.
No. I thought that was the perfect transition. It combined all the topics.
Yeah, for
Yeah,
real.
no, I mean that's
Oh,
100.
shit.
If you see a guy in your neighborhood wearing a cape, don't be afraid of the crackhead. Be afraid of that fucking guy because he will murder you and your family.
Nothing
Case
against
closed.
Renaissance
Crackhead's
festivals,
probably
but
close second.
nothing against.
But no, that's all I have for you guys. Though I'm glad you, entertained me for the evening.
No,
Nice.
no, that was great for us. Thank you. And for real, I mean, you really came out clutch for that. I appreciate it. We had a cancellation, and I'm just gonna keep it real. You talked about something I would have much rather listen to anyway. So, thank you.
Good. I'm glad you enjoyed it.
Yeah. Thank you. It actually made my night a lot better than I thought it was gonna be. Please, Julia, let everybody know what's up, where they can find your stuff again.
Yeah, thanks again for having me, Nick. As some of you know, I had a baby, and so I'm still learning how to balance, podcast life and baby life. So it's been harder to get shows going, but I am happy to join with the Occult Rejects anytime Nick will have me. And I do put some solo episodes out on my show. Of course, you know what I like to talk about: serial killers and ripping and running through dudes' beeholes. I cover slashing bitches' titties off. If you like my style, hate it or love it, whatever. Cosmic Peach Podcast is where you can find me, and I do have Patreon as well if you want to support me in that way. I would appreciate it. But thanks for having me again, and I hope you enjoyed the vampire episode.
No, thank you very much. No, I definitely enjoyed it. The chat definitely looked like they were having an interesting conversation. I guess a blast for the considering the topic. Bennett, please let everybody know what's up with you, where they can find your
thanks for having me.
ASMR channel you got for us.
Julie, it's always a pleasure. Always. And you can find me at broadcastingseeds.com. I got so much stuff there now. I'm blasting episodes out every day. So broadcastingseeds.com.
Just staying busy. Go check your shit out. Thank you very much for coming on, sir. I appreciate it.
Always.
And my man Headless Giant, what is up, bro?
Thank you. That was always a lot of fun, Julia. I love hanging out with you guys. It's really awesome time. A lot of laughs. You can check me out on YouTube and on X and on Instagram. So check me out there. Thank you.
Oh yeah, no, thank you. And again, Julia, thank you so much for bringing that topic or the topics, really, whatever. Very, very sick shit. And what should I expect? It's funny. I forgot to ask you at the beginning. I was like, I'm sure beehole is going to be brought up, and I think it was
of course.
Beehole is always involved.
Yeah.
But since I've been pregnant, this is just the last thing I'll say. Since I've been pregnant, my hormones have done this weird thing where my voice has actually deepened quite a bit, and sometimes, like, I say beehole, and I feel like I sound like a 12-year-old boy. And it's just like my voice has completely changed. It's like deepened 7 octaves or something like that. I'm starting to feel like, I understand what it's like to be a trans man at this point, with the weird hormone replacement therapy. But as long as people still enjoy it, I'm here for it.
When can we look forward to the killing spree?
That's what I'm saying.
You gotta join the Zizzians.
Yeah. School shootings.
All right. Well, that's the end of another recording. Thank you very much, Julia. I appreciate it. That was awesome. Bennett, Ellis, I appreciate you guys showing up tonight. And everybody in the chat, that is what's up. I appreciate you all, especially everybody that commented. And looked like a lot of people from the beginning to the end. That's what's up. I appreciate it. And until the next one, everybody be well. Later.
Later.